Hi friends, it's Auntie Cuckoo and I'm headed into Tuesday morning, so I thought I would invite you guys to come with me. Let's go shopping. So I can't seem to escape my little urge to check out the fall and Halloween decor, and I went into a store called Tuesday Morning that I normally do not frequent. I was actually at a thrift store nearby. Now I'm loving this green pumpkin. It's massive and no tag must mean it's free. I love these Cinderella style pumpkins. The smaller ones are $7.99. They also have cotton stems. Now these have a sort of gold velvety leaf and they're $5.99. You do get quite a bit for that price. So it definitely seems like green is the color of the season. So many of you have commented on my last DIY how you're loving the combo of green and ivory. And I love this wreath in these colors. Now I am very curious how many of you shop at Tuesday Morning regularly, and if we should throw this into our shop with me rotation. This is a pretty large wreath for $29.99. I'm looking at it trying to decide if I can duplicate it. And they do have the cotton on a very long 6-foot garland as well as in wreaths. Here is a almost tree bark gold pumpkin for $12.99. And lots of neutral pumpkins. They are putting a lot of gold into their items as well. Now here's the cotton wreath. It's $19.99. And again, it is a really good size, especially for the $20 price point. They have a lot of sunflowers in a lot of swags, both the traditional yellow and a lot of those white sunflowers that we saw at Michael's for their fall decor. Plenty of boxed wreaths. These run a little bit more just because they're dried flowers. They're in the $30 to $40 price range. I love that one with the orange. And lots of garlands. Now here's one of those swags with the cream colored sunflowers. Look at these pumpkins. The only thing about things like that is you have to commit to storing them. And I try to keep it to a minimum. I'm sure plenty of you will be surprised to hear that. $21.99. These are a little bit shorter and thinner than the last swags. This is a very nice pomegranate wreath. Again, a really nice size, but $39.99. Here's a much more neutral version, same price point, and lots of fall wreath options. Now they do have quite a few little tchotchkes, from pilgrims and Indians to foxes and owls and turkeys. I thought this was a pretty cool little piece of decor, but no price yet, and I found that a lot here today. Now those are the Anna Lee collection. I'm not super familiar with them. Lots and lots of items for Dia de los Muertos, the bobbleheads, lots of figurines, and we'll see more of that style in just a minute here behind me. They have pumpkins and more pumpkins. These are all of the glass blown. I couldn't help but notice the little touch of that greenish blue in these. They're running right around $12. This is one right up my alley for $9.99. Now I'm definitely seeing the touch of metallic, and they put that large Cinderella pumpkin in a miniature for $4.99. Now this pumpkin is tiny and it's $2.99. Nowhere near the size of the ones at the Dollar Tree, but this gold one is, and it's $3.99. Now this pumpkin is giving me Southwest feelings here, $5.99. Lots of more colorful options for around $10. Lots of silver, gold, and neutral with the gray for right around $10. With the smaller ones right around $8. And turkeys. Now this answers the dilemma. When do I take down my summer Americana decor and put up harvest in fall? You just get that Americana turkey and you're in business. They've got this turkey for $9.99. I like the colors of these little pumpkins in the Wicked for $12.99. And they are putting out a lot of little miniatures for fairy gardens. I know quite a few people do an autumn or fall fairy garden. And I think you just might flip for this RV for $12.99, and it does light up. They do have some more light up pumpkin homes for $7.99. More Annalie figurines and more Annalie figurines. And now we're going to take a few minutes and check out all of the Halloween decorations. They did an amazing job and got some really cool vintage looking items. Now I get asked a lot why I like the vintage items and why I don't just buy actual vintage items. And the answer is, I usually make my items. So some of you that have been with me for a while know that last year I did an entire week of Halloween themed DIYs that I called Halloweek. Now I can link a card with the playlist for you guys to check out. It's just a way to decorate on a budget, and it was a lot of fun. These are also a lot of fun. I think this is hilarious. The skeleton lady in her fancy evening dress for $12.99. The little zombie bride, I think we'll call her, for $14.99. They have her in an all-white version and a boy. The Dia de los Muertos statues for $16.99. Lots of little critters, and this is a little cat with a top hat on a pumpkin for $15. Some little shelf sitters, $3.99 for these. They've got the little skeleton boy and girl. Some more miniatures to add to your fairy garden. A little skeleton shelf sitter. This one's $6.99. I can't remember how much the one at Michael's was. Lots of flower and black and purple like Michael's in a lot of their skull items. Some sock monkey Halloween characters. Lots of ornaments for those that do Halloween and four-season trees. This is a very heavy plaster pumpkin. I'm not going to dare to pick it up, but I wanted to turn it around so you could see the bedazzled snake. It is a pricey item, but it is very large. They also have this large skeleton fortune teller. Some dish towels come in for a spell. Which way to the candy? These are just one decorative towel. They also have these very light canvas, very long hanging pieces. I think these would be really pretty, especially if you had double doors. Now they light up, but I can't figure out how to do that, but they are $19.99 and they come in a few different versions. The cornucopia and then the burgundy one. I know a lot of you have commented that you're just not into the green. You've got to have your burgundies and oranges, and I'm trying to figure that all out this year. Here's more Dia de los Muertos with the wreaths. Now I do like this style. I think this is adorable. I like the prints together, but I'm just not a fan of the glitter. And last year was my first year decorating for Halloween. I got a few questions on that as to why, and we just always decked the house out for fall because my kids were little and they were afraid, and we have lots of very young trick-or-treaters where I live, so we just didn't want to scare any of them. Here are some really cute little witch tutus with the legs for $7.99. Last year the kids were so ready and they talked me into it. So we're now just sort of figuring out what my Halloween style is. And I definitely like the vintage looking items. They have picks with quite a few hats and baubles on them. Now this is a witch's hat you could hang on a front door or something. It is very large. It popped up around the corner, so we'll get a better look at that in a minute. A few mini pillows with different sayings on them. The little dangly legs. Added a lot of green in this year with the orange and purple and the vintage looking signs. So I'm not really into the witches. I prefer the black cats and the jack-o'-lanterns, but these are really vintage looking. We're gonna see the other two here in a minute. They did their fair share of potion bottles, all shapes and sizes, pretty much right around $6 and $7 for all of these. Some are more elaborate than others with little spiders on them. This one was $9. They even did some metallic with the bronze and purple and orange. These are sort of like a trick. So it does have a little lid to it, but it definitely looks like it would spill. Some pumpkins with little hats on, and this stuff is what I'm drawn to. I think that it all looks kind of almost like a circus look to it. Very old-fashioned. Most of the items were between $10 and $12.99. Actually $9.99 and $12.99. I love this cat. Now this doll, I think she's adorable. I love her little face and her old-fashioned looking legs. My daughter thought she was creepy. You guys tell me down below, is she adorable or creepy? They have this little shoe with a jack-o'-lantern guy on it. They have that also in the black cat version. And then this is the boy doll. They are shelf sitters, their legs dangle. And here is the cat on the witch's shoe. You could put something in it or just use it as decor. They have these pieces with the capes and these more vintage looking items. $12.99. They have that in both the cat and jack-o'-lantern. Now I like these, but I don't love them as much. I love the diamond pattern, but there's a little too much glitter for me on these. I'm still very excited to see what Target, especially the Bullseye's Playground, will put out, and whether or not they'll get the whole vintage vibe going, as well as Walmart. So I'm very interested to see what they put out before I buy anything. I did pick up two things today, and if you want to see what I picked up, It's not super exciting, but I'll go ahead and post some pictures on Instagram. You can find me over there at Cuckoo Auntie. Now this is the most beautiful witch I've ever seen. She looks like some kind of Mother Earth for $24.99. Now is she supposed to be from a story? I wonder if these are after actual characters. This is more my kind of witch. I like the sort of older looking witches, but I love looking at the outfits they put on them. Most of these witches were right around $19.99. There is a sweet lady at my children's school that collects witches, and you guys should see some of the fabulous old-fashioned witches she has in her office. She brings them out every fall and they're so cool. Now here's another thing that I am really drawn to because of that old-fashioned vintage look. This jack-o'-lantern bodice for $19.99. I love those little hats on them. They also have the cat with the chevron striped hat and whiskers. Those are pipe cleaners. Now they always put out a few table runners, I'm noticing, and I'm finding just a few different patterns here. They're right around $15. And this one back here caught my eye. I love the look of that one with the pom-pom fringe. Buried behind those, I found a couple of welcome signs for $12.99. They're long, sort of decorative pieces you could hang on your front door, and there are two versions. Now, right around the corner, I found lots more items, quite a few tall things here on this end cap. They've got this little jack-o'-lantern fellow on a very tall crow. He's metal with his top hat on. A few Halloween spooky trees. These are kind of a twine texture covered in glitter. A little mummy pumpkin, and this large jack-o'-lantern with a witch's hat, and that is a lantern. Now here's a few pieces that I love the bodies of. I'm just not in love with their faces. They are large pieces, their heads are bowls, and they're $24.99. Here is another version of that little crow character we saw up there. This is a female with a pointed hat. She's quite a bit shorter. They would probably look nice next to each other. I am really liking that jack-o'-lantern. That harlequin pattern, to me, with Halloween items is beautiful. I really like that combo. As you can see, they didn't skip a beat and had some galvanized metal jack-o'-lanterns, a few stacked pieces, and a beautiful, I'm gonna call her a pumpkin queen. She looks like she's on her way to a masquerade ball, and her skirt looks just like a pumpkin. Now, hidden away quite high, they had some pillows. Not a lot, just a few. I tried to reach them, but I'm short. So I'm gonna show you the prices on the ones that I can reach. I'm guessing that they're all gonna be pretty close in price at $14.99. This freak show one was my favorite. It's definitely got the whole circus vibe, and I just thought it looked very old-fashioned. I thought it would be more, but it was also $14.99, as well as that one. Now they have novelty items like lip balms and little ornaments, all kinds of little things, including figurines for fairy gardens and little sets of tables and chairs. But this is what I was hoping to find, a garden flag. So I have one of the metal hangers for my garden flag from the Dollar Tree, and I've been hoping to pick up a garden flag for this Halloween, and they had quite a few to choose from. Now this orange one is very vintage. It was on a burlap background. They are all $4.99, but that was the only one that was made out of the heavier material. The rest of them are more of what you would expect in a garden flag. I'm going to show you as many as possible. My little helper was with me, and she was taking the flags from my hand so that I could take them off and show you guys all of the options. I thought this little bucket full of candy was super cute. And I really like the little black crow on this one. Cute little cat. And above there they had even more witches. A few more duplicate items of what we just saw in the wreaths and the little witches tutus with Happy Halloween. But look down here, they also have a skull in the American flag, and that made me laugh because they put out the turkey. Here is a better look at this very large witch's hat. It does light up and it is $29.99. They have those long canvas pieces for Halloween as well as fall and harvest. I do like that one with the 3 pumpkins. Now I'm not sure how they light up, but it says that they do. I couldn't get them to work. Here's a set of 3 hand soaps for $7.99. I thought those were adorable. Plenty of little figurines for your fairy gardens or just your decor. And 2 more of the signs. So that witch sign was off by itself, and now I can see where it came from. They have a stack of them here with the owl and the cat. There's a little bit of glitter on this one, but it's really adorable. Those are all $7.99. Now stashed back here, I found this little witch on a bowl that says Boo. I couldn't see a price on it anywhere, but it reminded me of Rae Dunn, and I wanted to share that with those of you that follow all of the Dunn pieces. They had a few pieces of wall art that have the shadow box look to them. Here's more of the little pumpkins. An adorable little hand soap of a kitty cat, $3.99 for that. And a really pretty witch's shoe. Now not 2, just 1 with her little leg and her boot. It lights up. This would be nice on a front door or in an entryway. I found one little mansion. It's a paper mache look and feel to it for $19.99. That cat is asking to come home with me. They have a few more of those vintage looking items stashed back here. This is another one I really like the look of. Remember to check out my Halloween series if you want to see how to make some vintage looking Halloween DIYs. Here's a few more of the table runners. They have the webs on the orange and the black with the pom-pom fringe and velvety pumpkin. Well, that does it for our Tuesday morning Fall and Halloween shop with me. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you back very soon in the next video.